The EMM world encompassing Earth, the Moon, and the Mars witnessed the worst climate crisis of the 21st century between 2030 and 2050, the climate change catastrophe of 21st century. This disaster lasted 2 full decades, bringing unprecedented suffering to Earth and its inhabitants. Over 5 billion lives were lost to war and climate-related disasters. It all began with an unprecedented rise in global temperatures, which ultimately melted the ice caps at both poles and across other frozen regions of Earth. This, in turn, led to an inevitable rise in sea levels. While vast areas of land disappeared beneath rising seas, nothing in human history had unfolded so catastrophically in such a short span of time. Yet this was the inevitable outcome of centuries of human activity that had harmed the environment, culminating in this devastating climate crisis. The worst aspect of the climate change catastrophe of the 21st century was not only the natural disasters such as rising sea levels, floods, soaring temperatures and heat waves, droughts, and more, but also the wars that erupted across nearly all nations as a direct result of this unprecedented, large-scale climate crisis unfolding simultaneously across the globe. All kinds of weapons of every size and capability were unleashed, first against enemy nations, and then, as the war dragged on, against fellow citizens. Internal crises gave rise to civil wars that engulfed most countries, forcing governments to turn their armies, war machines, and weaponry inward, aiming them at their own people in an attempt to crush the unrest. It was the worst kind of tragedy imaginable, the very thing humanity should never allow to happen, yet it was happening. Yet the EMM World Organization knew that the lessons of this climate crisis, compounded by a devastating war that unleashed 11 nuclear bombs, must never fade from memory. The 11 nuclear bombs used in this 21st century war were nothing like the 2 dropped during World War II. Their destructive power was not merely hundreds of times greater, but thousands on a scale almost beyond comprehension. The aftermath was so devastating that its effects are still felt to this day, as survivors of the blasts, and even their descendants, continue to suffer from the lasting consequences of nuclear exposure. After witnessing Earth on the brink of destruction, the inhabitants of the EMM world confronted a stark truth. Nature, in its infinite wisdom, restores balance, and humanity must bear the consequences of its actions. This revelation ignited an unprecedented era of global cooperation, as nations united to heal the centuries of neglect inflicted upon their planet. Over the following decades, through advanced technology and unwavering collective effort, Earth gradually stabilized, proving that even in the face of near-catastrophic adversity, humanity could adapt, rebuild, and endure. Today, In the year 2169, Earth has advanced to such an extent that, nearly a century after the climate change catastrophe of the 21st century, it is almost impossible to imagine that the worst disaster in human history ever took place here. This remarkable recovery was made possible in such a short time with the vital support of Earth's two moons, the Mars and the Moon, which aided in restoring the planet from the devastation of both disaster and war. Now, almost all nations of Earth exist in an era of peace and unprecedented development. Reaching this stage of development in the year 2169 has been possible due to many factors, and one of them is undeniably the evolution of the world's game, the Mandala Labyrinth Gold, since its inception in 2069. This is no exaggeration, but a fact we can all agree upon. In the wake of catastrophe and rebirth, the world searched for a way to ensure that the lessons of its darkest era would never fade, a way to bind memory, meaning, and hope into the very fabric of its culture. Humanity needed a way to internalize these truths, embedding them into culture itself as a constant reminder of both the fragility and resilience of Earth, its moon, and Mars. To achieve this, they sought a solution that could educate, inspire, and unite. Nothing resonated so universally as sport, and thus the Mandala Labyrinth Gold was born. More than a game, it became a celebration of the world, a thrilling arena of competition intertwined with a poignant acknowledgement of our planet's and our moon's limitations and delicate balance. One of Nelson Mandela's most famous quotes about sport states, "Sport has the power to change the world. It has the power to inspire. It has the power to unite people in a way that little else does. It speaks to youth in a language they understand. Sport can create hope where once there was only despair." This quote captures Mandela's vision of sport as a unifying force capable of transcending differences and driving positive change. Inspired by this philosophy, the World Organization adopted it as the guiding principle for the Mandala Labyrinth Gold, making the game a symbol of unity, inspiration, and hope. In 2069, the concept of Mandala Labyrinth Gold was conceived, and the first ultimate tournament was held in Sungbang City, a thriving metropolis in the USA Mars state, Gongunbium. Drystanoric Axel Solis from Moon became the inaugural winner of the Mandala Labyrinth Gold and the first player appointed as an ambassador of the World Organization. As ambassador, the winner travels across the world, raising awareness about the delicate ecological balance of its environment, the vulnerability of its ecosystems, and the critical importance of environmental stewardship. They highlight the fragility of shared biospheres and advocate for a collective commitment to sustainable practices, resilient innovations, and preserving natural harmony, ensuring the longevity of the intercosmic civilization. This ambassadorial role lasts for 1 year, a tradition now integral to the Mandala Labyrinth Gold Tournament. The tournament quickly grew in prestige, evolving into an annual event that serves as the culmination of all Mandala Labyrinth Gold games played each year. The game became immensely popular across Mars, and virtual training centers were established throughout the EMM world to prepare participants for the challenging tournaments. Since its inception, the Mandala Labyrinth Gold has been held every year without interruption except for one notable year, when Mars experienced 3 comet arrivals and 2 major asteroid strikes, forcing the event's cancellation. Beyond that single exception, the tournament continued uninterrupted, growing in significance and participation across the entire EMM world and other celestial territories. By 2169, the Mandala Labyrinth Gold will celebrate its 100th edition, standing as a symbol of endurance, resilience, and humanity's ongoing commitment to overcoming environmental and celestial challenges. The game has evolved into a cultural phenomenon, uniting participants from Earth, Moon, and Mars in a shared mission to understand and appreciate the rarity of life and the interconnectedness of their worlds. Mandala Labyrinth Gold is a game played exclusively on Mars, as it requires the unique Martian conditions of gravity and atmosphere, elements that cannot be replicated naturally on Earth or the Moon. This means that true Mandala Labyrinth Gold stadiums cannot be built outside of Mars. To ensure fairness for players from Earth and the Moon, advanced virtual Mandala Labyrinth Gold stadiums were developed, allowing athletes to train and compete in realistic simulations. These virtual arenas replicate the sensation and gameplay of real matches on Mars so precisely that players can't tell the difference, despite the experience being entirely virtual. The stadiums on Mars, however, are monumental in scale. Many feature audience tiers rising more than 10 levels high. The largest of them all, the Sungbang City, also known as the Green City Mandala Labyrinth Gold Stadium, located in USA Mars, boasts an unprecedented 19 audience tiers, the most of any Mandala Labyrinth Gold Stadium, or indeed any sports arena ever constructed by humanity. At full capacity, this ultimate and one-of-a-kind stadium can hold over 1 million spectators, making it a true marvel of interplanetary architecture and sport. Mandala Labyrinth Gold is a game that blends elements of American football with the dynamics of advanced trampolining. Like in American football, players must carry a ball and run across a field marked with yard lines. Their goal is to reach transparent cylindrical towers positioned on various platforms or levels within the Mandala Labyrinth Gold Arena. Standing in their way are virtual defenders known as babes, whose role is to block players from reaching these towers. Inside each tower, advanced trampolines are installed at the base. Players use these trampolines to launch themselves upward within the tower to grab these special balls known as tower balls, which they must catch, hold, and then continue running with to progress in the game. The Mandala Labyrinth Gold features a unique sequence of game balls, each tied to a specific stage of the challenge. The journey begins with the soul balls, given to players before the start of the game at the Mandala Labyrinth Gold base. These soul balls are the essential keys for entering the transparent cylindrical soul towers, located at the first level known as the soul platform. Once inside a soul tower, players must capture the first set of tower balls, called moon balls. These are the Mandala Labyrinth Gold balls that rise high within the tower, carried aloft by enormous white Mandala Labyrinth Gold angel balloons. After securing a moon ball, players advance to the next higher stage, the moon platform, where they must enter the moon towers and seize the Mars balls. The challenge continues as players move upward to the Mars platform, where transparent cylindrical Mars towers hold the next prize, the Earth balls. From there, the journey ascends to the Earth platform, where the Earth towers contain the coveted balls. Beyond this stage lies the platform, home to the towers that guard the radiant sun balls. Finally, at the highest and ultimate stage, the sun platform stands the ultimate transparent cylindrical sun tower. Inside awaits the single life ball, the final and most precious tower ball being carried away high up the sky by the soul-huge demon white and black balloon. The winning player will capture this ultimate victory tower ball in the Mandala Labyrinth Gold and ends the game. The transparent cylindrical towers of the Mandala Labyrinth Gold platforms are enormous structures, classified into two distinct types. The first type comprises the common transparent cylindrical towers found on all platforms or levels, except the topmost level, the sun platform. These are massive, imposing towers with an outer diameter of 20 meters, approximately 22 yards or 66 feet, while the inner hollow section measures 10 meters in diameter, approximately 11 yards or 33 feet. Each tower is constructed from an advanced, glass-like, robustly engineered, and artificially manufactured material known as acrylic air pseudoglass, abbreviated as AAP, or simply PAPA, with a wall thickness of 5 meters, approximately 6 yards or 16 feet. The use of AAP allows for the creation of such massive, durable, and exceptionally tall crystal-clear transparent cylindrical towers, as PAPA possesses all the necessary properties to make these monumental structures possible. The second type is the single, ultimate, top transparent cylindrical tower, the Sun Tower, located on the Sun platform. This unique tower is even grander, with an outer diameter of 35 meters, approximately 38 yards or 115 feet, and an inner hollow section measuring 20 meters, approximately 22 yards or 66 feet. It, too, is constructed using AAP-PAPA with an even greater wall thickness of 7.5 meters, approximately 8.2 yards or 24.6 feet. The Mandala Labyrinth Gold balloons inside the transparent cylindrical towers come in two types. The first are the common smaller white balloons, called angel balloons, found in all towers except the Sun Tower. Each angel balloon is tied to a tower ball, which serves as the key to reaching the next stage. These balloons are pure white, with a calm, winged angel illustration resting gracefully on their curved surface. Measuring 8 meters in diameter, they rise gently once the game begins, lifting the tower balls higher inside their towers. The second is the single, unique balloon, the Demon Balloon, found only in the Sun Tower and tied to the life ball. This balloon is huge, with a diameter of 18 meters. Its surface is marked in a mix of stark white and black, and on top is the image of a fierce demon head, showing its dark identity. When the game starts, the demon balloon begins a slow but unstoppable climb, carrying the life ball higher and higher inside the Sun Tower. It moves as if it has a mind of its own, threatening to lift the life ball out of reach, and with it, the player's final chance at victory. All transparent cylindrical tower actions in the Mandala Labyrinth Gold can be performed successfully only if players wear the required sportswear or athletic gear. This is not optional. At extreme altitudes, normal human beings cannot function without proper life support systems. Because of this, Mandala Labyrinth Gold has strict rules. Every player must be equipped with specialized sportswear, designed with advanced life support systems to withstand the reduced atmospheric pressure and other harsh environmental conditions found at such high altitudes on Mars. These sport suits function like miniature astronaut suits, complete with a pressurized system. This is essential because players must jump to extreme heights inside the towers, sometimes reaching altitudes where the atmospheric pressure drops rapidly, making it nearly impossible to breathe or move normally without assistance. The suits automatically adjust internal pressure to keep it at safe, normal level, ensuring players can perform high jumps and quick movements without suffering the dangerous effects of low pressure. In short, without these specialized pressurized sport suits, no player could survive, let alone compete at the heights demanded by the Mandala Labyrinth Gold. So, these are some of the players' sportswear or athletic gear used in the Mandala Labyrinth Gold. Now that we have covered the introductory and essential parts of the Mandala Labyrinth Gold and its players, the real action, outside the transparent cylindrical towers, between the players and the babes, as well as against each other, is explored in full detail in my book. Read the story to experience these thrilling sporting battles in their entirety. What you see here are just small, rough visual representations of the action in the Mandala Labyrinth Gold. The real magic happens in your own beautiful, creative mind as you imagine the scenes and enjoy them to the fullest. The prizes awarded to Mandala Labyrinth Gold players when they win are enormous, including substantial financial rewards for the individual players, as well as for their cities and their nations. The full details of these huge cash rewards can be discovered by reading the story in my book. In addition to these financial prizes, Mandala Labyrinth Gold players also receive their beautiful Mandala Labyrinth Gold medals, while the overall winner takes home the grand prize, a huge and exquisitely crafted Mandala Labyrinth Gold medallion, as shown here. To truly understand and feel the reality of how these players are rewarded, read my book in full. What you see here are only rough, visual representations of the scenes. The real experience comes alive in the pages of the story. Some of the winners of the Mandala Labyrinth Gold include Henry Jacobs, the 5-time Mandala Labyrinth Gold champion, and VJ Sports Idol, whom VJ has already surpassed by the year 2169, with an incredible 9 Mandala Labyrinth Gold medallions to his name. Another legend is Elara Voss, the first female Mandala Labyrinth Gold champion, who resides in EU Mars. Alongside them are many other champions of the Mandala Labyrinth Gold, proudly holding their beautiful Mandala Labyrinth Gold medallions and trophies, all showcased here in the video. Check it out. Now that we have finally learned about the Mandala Labyrinth Gold, from its origins to why it was created by the World Organization, EWOMWO, we can conclude that it has indeed fulfilled its purpose, making all of us aware that our world is a very vulnerable place. It remains, as far as we know in this universe, one of the rare worlds where human beings can live. Therefore, conserving our world at any cost is the utmost duty of all of us. The protagonist of my book, VJ, Virjit Param Raj Tilak, stands as the greatest advocate for this cause. As the best of the best, the GOAT of Mandala Labyrinth Gold, he is deeply committed to protecting the environment, climate, and all that makes our EMM world what it is. This is the Mandala Labyrinth Gold that I have been striving to bring to life visually and explain through narration. But the full depth and detail of the Mandala Labyrinth Gold can only be truly understood when you read my book in its entirety. Then you will discover what the Mandala Labyrinth Gold of my sci-fi cli-fi world, EMM world, truly is. Check out the book to fully experience what the Mandala Labyrinth Gold of EMM world means. With that, I conclude my video on what Mandala Labyrinth Gold means in my sci-fi cli-fi world. Thank you all for the wonderful support.